Shadow slowly rose as it shined on the bright, peaceful morning. There, standing in the small edge of the cliff close to the water, was a red and black stoic hedgehog named Shadow, who silently watched as the sunset rise rose. His arms were crossed as he quietly exhaled through his nose. Shadow's ears suddenly twitched as he heard the sound of a cheerful whistle coming nearby. There was walking and happily whistling a cheerful tune was a large overweight cat with long ears. He carried a fishing pole and sat there on his shoulder was his pet frog, who he named it Froggy, and that cat was none other than Big. Shadow barely ever interacted with him. Last time they ever ran into each other was back in White Citadel, where Shadow had to help him find Froggy. Big was always one of those types who always isolated himself only to go fishing, which was, if anything, peaceful to him, not having to deal with the constant battles and the rest of Sonic and his friends were dealing with. One of the being wars with Dr. Eggman, the evil genius who always has his ways of causing trouble. Big stood out all, just mind his own business to do his own thing. That being enjoying the peaceful, bright, sunny day going fishing with Froggy. Shadow was aware of this, however, he sensed something else behind that. He was aware of Big's strength and how strong and powerful he was. Maybe Big self-isolates for a reason. Shadow took a deep breath, and very slowly he approached the overweight feline who was peacefully fishing. Shadow cleared his throat. "You do this every day, don't you?" He spoke in his usual stoic tone. Big then turned to him and looked at him. "Oh, hey there, Shadow," he replied with the usual calm, cheerful voice. "Nice day we're having for fishing. Want to join me?" Big then asked. "No, thanks, I'm good," Shadow replied. He crossed his arms again as he watched the sun rise. He took another slow, deep breath as he watched the large cat just fish in peace. "May I ask you something?" Shadow then asked. "Sure, buddy," Big replied with the usual short response. Shadow again slowly took a deep breath as he tried to think of the right word to say without upsetting the overweight cat. "Do you always feel peaceful every day, just fishing?" "Yup," Big responded. "It makes me happy." Shadow scoffed. "You're lucky." "No, really. Meanwhile, me and the others had to fight our dream freedom and deal with Eggman constantly. You're lucky to have your own freedom and peace. But thankfully Eggman retired. Not sure if you heard, but I must say good riddance he's done." "I don't like that was mean to my friends," Big replied. "I know, but your friends no longer have to deal with him," Shadow replied. "Not even you have to put up with him, if he ever tried disturbing your peace and freedom." Shadow then sighed. The next question he wanted to ask Big was a tough one, and he had to ask this wisely. "Is there a reason why you don't fight for us? And I'm not saying that in a way of you being a bad friend, but—" Shadow paused. Big was silent, unsure how to answer this. Shadow could see it. His heart skipped a beat. He then swallowed the lump down his throat as his ears perked pinned back, feeling slightly nervous. He rarely ever had this feeling. Shadow then resumed his question. "Does it have anything to do with your power?" he finally managed to finish. Big was silent still. The large cat then looked down at one of his own hands, before slowly balling into a fist, his long ears slowly drooping. Shadow didn't need an answer. He could just simply tell by Big's body language. Shadow slowly put a hand on Big's shoulder. "You don't have to hide it or be scared. I've seen your powers and strength, and I'm not going to judge you or view you as some monster for it. Take me, the ultimate life form, for example. My power is so strong, and that I don't care if I'm viewed as some monster. If any threat stands in our way, don't hesitate, and you can destroy it no matter how brutal you are against it. Even if the future threats hurt your friends, use that power and don't be scared to. It shows how you care for your friends and that you'll protect them in need from anything and that dares to harm them or you." Shadow was able to finish his sentence. "You're right," Big responded calmly. "I do admit I am pretty strong. I just worried that this side of me will scare my friends." "It won't," Shadow replied. "I'm sure they understand it's your way of looking out for them. We all have a darker side in us. Even I do." Big then resumed fishing while continuing the conversation. How's things been for you guys since Eggman's retired? He calmly asked. Better, like I said earlier, Shadow replied. We all won our freedom at peace. No more wars with him and his army of bandits. Our world's been better off with him gone and out of our sight. I'm glad. He's always nothing but trouble, Big calmly replied. Shadow nodded. Yet, he never learned it up till now whenever he decided to retire. I wonder, though, he paused as another thought came. I wonder if the Deadly Six are even now retired. They do, Big replied. Shadow was aware the very close connection with Big was with Zavok, who is the Zeddy leader. Ever since Eggman's retirement, Zavok, Zaz, Zomnom, Master Zeke, Xena, and Zor stopped doing villain business themselves and managed to make truce with Sonic and the rest of them. Shadow was even there too, and while it was a shocker that the ruthless Zeddy had came to his decision, at least it's relief that they are willing to change their ways. Big has interacted with Zavok a few times, even by the time after Zavok made truce with Sonic and the others. Big wanted to make his truce with Zavok on his own by giving him something that was with respect. Both of them were strong and powerful. Big still remembers saying this one word that brought Zavok to tears. You're strong. Stand proud. And that was then and there they respected each other and started building a very close bonding friendship. Shadow knew this had no intention of judging Big. If Big wants to bond with Zavok, it's no issue now that he's no longer evil. At least they've changed, Shadow then spoke as he glanced back at the sun, smiling to himself as he did so. Many hours later, the sun would set. Shadow was feeling exhausted. Froggy was sound asleep on Big's shoulder. Big, however, was still awake. Shadow wasn't sure if he would move or walk back home with how tired his body felt. Hey, Big, I'm kinda close to falling asleep here. You don't mind carrying me home, do you? Shadow asked, as a low yawn escaped him. Don't mind at all, Big replied, as he very slowly lifted Shadow up, careful not to drop Froggy, who was sound asleep on Big's shoulder. Shadow felt himself slowly drift off to sleep as Big carried him home. This was by far a successful interaction Shadow had with Big now that the two got to know each other a little better. Both understood each other and never judged each other for one of their own strong powers and abilities. Shadow fell asleep on Big's shoulder as sleep finally took over. Froggy ribbed softly as he was too sound asleep on now Shadow's arms. As Big walked Shadow home, the sunset lowered ever so slowly. A quiet, peaceful evening, no war, no Eggman planning another evil plot, no bad nicks, just freedom and peace. And that, my pretties, was Big in Shadow, a Sonic the Hedgehog fanfiction written by King Herman the Wise. Now, my final thoughts on this story, I personally really like this fanfic. It's actually very sweet. You know, it involves Big the Cat. I mean, I really do like Big the Cat. I think he's like a really cool character. He's like very laid back and he's like very understanding. He's actually a pretty cool character in Sonic. Now, I really do have to say is that I really thought this was a really good story and it just definitely really was a good story from my knowledge. I personally really enjoyed it. So, I guess with that being said, and that being the case, the grammar was good, the sentence structuring was good, the storyline was good, everything about it was just really good. I personally love the interaction between Shadow and Big. So, anyways, with that being said, like I'm always going to say, this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you disagree with it, that's perfectly fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these stories, simply my own personal thoughts. I give this story I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10. It's a really good one. I personally like it a lot. I thought it was a really sweet story involving, Big the cat and Shadow the Hedgehog. So yeah, King Herman the Wise, you did a pretty good job with this story. I personally really enjoyed it. So as always, I guess with that being said, what did you guys personally think of this story? Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm Shadow the Lion Queen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. As always, if you guys want to go follow me on Blue Sky, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, follow me on DeviantArt, follow me on my backup channel known as Miss Dark Shigo, as links to all those will be in the About page section, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I guess with that being said, I will be catching you all in the next video, so peace out. And like always, roll the outro because I'm out, and I will be seeing you all in the next video. Peace out.
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, stay pretty.